Hello everyone, I'm Atulya, and in this session, I will walk you through a simple and practical data analysis workflow using Python. So, the goal of this session is to understand how we can make raw data and turn it into a meaningful insights using a structured approach. Okay, so we talk about workflow, right? So, we want to know what is a workflow. In real world analysis, we typically follow a few steps like we collect the data, then we clean and prepare it, and next we analyze the data to extract useful informations, and finally we visualize the results to understand patterns and trends. So I will demonstrate a simple example covering these steps using Python. So that's what our session begins. And I will be using Google Colab for this demonstration, which allows us to run Python code directly in the browser without any installations. Okay, so it's super simple. First of all, we need to create the data. As we know, the Python has pandas and numpy for data analysis. Python use data pandas and numpy. Numpy for numerical data and pandas for tabular columns. Okay. First of all, let's import pandas as PD. Then let's give a variable name, that is here I'm giving data with PD dot data frame, and we just add some of the values, starting the parentheses, also the curly braces, just like a dictionary, just like how we make a dictionary, it has key value pairs. Okay, so let's give some values. Here I'm giving name, and then let's give some names like A, B, and C, and C also we can give a D2. Okay, four values are enough. And afterwards we need another key, that is score. Here let's add score 2. And then let's add some values to that, like 85, 90, 78, 92. So as it's integer values, we don't want any quotation marks. Okay, so we added 4 values. Afterwards, we print the data, then run. So what we get here? We have created a simple dataset representing students' name and their scores. And in real scenarios, this data could come from databases, CSV files, or just APIs. Okay. So first of all, we make a tabular column, and now we analyze the data. So now next step is we are going to analyze the data. First of all, I need to know the average score of this. Like you can see that as mean, average score, and then let's add a comma and data. In the square bracket, we give score. Then after we say dot mean with a double parenthesis. Okay. Then we can just do shift plus enter. The cell will be running. We get the score. We get the average score as 86.25. And I would also like the maximum score, which is a maximum score here. It's 92. Let's look if we are able to get the maximum score using code. Let's print maximum score, and let's say as data, the same code, score. And then what the change here is we are just using dot max here instead of mean. That's the only difference. And now we are going to get the maximum score here. Our max score is 92, and we're gonna get that. Okay, just like this. So now we perform basic analysis. We calculated the average score and the maximum score. So these types of operations help us to do quick understanding overall performance of the data. Okay, that's why we do this analysis. And the next one, the data cleaning. Okay, in real world data set, we don't often feel like that's a lot of missing values, maybe inconsistent text, or we need to just handle the null values. In such cases, we can use Filna. Filna is a good one. So let's do that thing. So for score, we are doing the Filna. Start with data and score. Just add the data, then give score, Afterwards is dot fill now. Okay. And we need to also add 0 inside, and the placing also should be in the right direction. So here we handle how missing values replacing with zeros. Currently we don't have any missing values. Because of that, we don't need some zeros. So that's okay while handling this. And first of all, we run collecting and preparing data. We manually collect the data and prepare that. Afterwards, we run analysis to get average and the max. And then we clean the data using Filna because it will handle the missing values and replace it with 0. So that's where we are now. So next one, that is visualization. For that, we use another Python library, that is import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. Okay, and then we can say data.plot with, we need to give a kind. Here I give kind as, let's just give kind as bar. Okay, and then x equals name and y as score as per our data. Okay, so we gave the kind and x, y, all this, and then we need to just load dot show. Okay, and now let's run. Okay, we got a bar chart, right? Here we got a bar chart with name and score. So visualization helps us to understand the data more efficiently, and here we are using a bar chart to compare the scores of different students. This make it easier to identify patterns at a glance. Okay, and in real world applications, this workflow is useful in areas like business analytics, customer behavior analysis, and perform tracking. Okay, so organizations use these insights to make better decisions and improve their strategies, all that. So as a summary, we started with the raw data, then we clean, then we analyze, then we visualize. Okay, it's our raw data, then we just clean that, analyze it, and also make visualization using that. So this structured approach is fundamental in data analysis using Python. So whatever the data is, we use the same workflow. The workflow is the main base of that. Okay, and the key. So thanks for attending this session. I hope